Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another Final Cut Pro tutorial. In last week's video, I talked about keyframing, what it is, and when, where, and why to use keyframes. Today, we're going to take a look at just a few examples of what can be keyframed in Final Cut Pro. If you haven't seen last week's video, make sure to watch it for a better understanding of keyframing. That being said, let's not waste any time and get started. If you want to follow along, I'll link the clips used in this video in the description below. First, let's take a look at how to manually add a Can Burns effect to your video. It's very similar to Final Cut Pro's built-in Can Burns effect, but gives you a lot more control. To start, set your playhead at the start of the clip, or wherever you would like your camera pan to start. In the viewer, from the Transform drop-down menu, select Crop and select the Crop tool. Use one of the corner buttons to resize your clip, and click and drag anywhere in the highlighted area to reposition or reframe your image. Click the Keyframe button in the top left corner to set your first keyframe. Next, down in your timeline, move the playhead to where you want your camera pan to stop, and resize and reposition your clip. And, because the crop parameter has already been keyframed in this clip, as soon as you made an adjustment to it at a different point in your timeline, Final Cut Pro automatically set another keyframe. This calculated a transition from the first keyframe to the second keyframe, simulating a camera pan. Next, let's take a look at how to use keyframes to animate the letterbox effect, Peter McKinnon style.
What's up everybody, Peter McKinnon here and welcome to 2018.
There's a couple ways to achieve this effect, and the one I'll show you today uses a letterbox overlay. First thing you need to do is download a letterbox overlay template. These can easily be found online by googling letterbox overlay, or click the link in the description to use the same one I use. After downloading, import the overlay into your Final Cut Pro library just like any other clip. Animating the letterbox effect looks really cool, especially combined with a speed change in your clip. So first, let's add a speed ramp to our clip. Place a playhead where you want to change your clip speed, and with your clip selected, add a speed ramp by pressing Shift-B. This will bring up the retime bar with two separate segments, allowing you to play back your clip at two different speeds. For my example, I'll speed up the first part of my clip and leave the second part at normal speed. Using a speed ramp creates a smooth transition between the different playback speeds. Now, set your playhead at the start of your speed ramp and edit your letterbox overlay to your clip. Ripple trim it to last the duration of your clip. Next, move the playhead back to the start of your clip, and in the inspector, in the Transform parameter, drag up the scale slider until the black bars disappear. Click the keyframe button beside the slider to lock in this value. Now, move the playhead to the end of your speed ramp and bring the scale slider back down to 100%. This will scale out on your overlay clip, bringing in the black bars from the top and bottom. Combined with a speed ramp, this can really add a cinematic feel to your project. Another common use for keyframes is animating a mask. For example, you can animate a mask to do a title reveal, like I did in one of my previous videos. I'll add a link to it up top. Or you can use a mask to add a quick before and after slide transition to your clip. For example, if you want to add a color correction to a clip and show the before and after, here's how you do it. First, duplicate your clip by holding down the Option key and dragging up. Next, add any adjustments or corrections to your top clip. In my example, simply balancing color makes a huge difference. Next, from the Size drop-down menu, zoom out on your clip, and from the Effects browser, add a Draw Mask. Add 4 control points just off-screen on either side of your clip. Set your playhead where you want your slide to start, and add a keyframe to the Transform parameters and control points. Move the playhead ahead about a second or two, and click and drag the side of your mask over. If you want to pause in the middle, simply move your playhead and add another keyframe without moving the mask. After pausing for a second, move the playhead again and drag your mask all the way over. This will give you a nice before and after slide effect you can use when making comparison videos. And finally, you can use keyframes to animate and have some fun with your icons. For my demo clip, I'm just using a simple white background and a Final Cut Pro icon to keep things simple. So let's set the playhead at the start of the clip zoom out in the viewer, and use the transform tool to move the icon off screen. Set a keyframe here by pressing the keyframe button in the viewer. Now move the playhead ahead about a second and bring down the icon until it touches the bottom of the screen. Use the right arrow key to move the playhead ahead a couple more frames and use the wireframe to squish the icon a bit. Hold down the option key to keep the bottom of the icon from moving. Move ahead a couple more frames and stretch the icon back to its original size. Repeat this a couple more times to add a fun bouncing animation to your logo. These are just a few simple examples of what can be achieved with keyframing. And when you start combining keyframe and different parameters, the possibilities are endless. Next time you have some time to play around and see a keyframe button next to a parameter in the inspector, try it out. Let me know in the comments what kind of unique effects or transitions you come up with. As always, if you liked this video, let me know by hitting the like button and subscribing to my channel. New videos released at least weekly. And if there's a specific topic you'd like to see discussed in one of my future videos, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.